Hi, everyone, anyone who's out there. It's Nancy Rommelmann. I am here at the Nobu Bar in Warsaw. I got out of Ukraine very, very easily. Kind of stupidly easy, actually. I'll tell you about it if you want. So I've written about it. If you've been reading my stuff on Reason or over at Paloma Media or Substack, because blah, 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 a lot of cross-posting, but getting into, thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, so it's my first drink in a week, except actually for a little bit of Jameson's that the mayor of these villages around Lviv plied me with the other day, which was great. So please forgive me while I enjoy this drink of tequila soda. Anyway, getting to Ukraine was a bit of a drama. It was easy enough to get a train to the border, but you couldn't get a train over the border, or that's what I was told. But then I wound up meeting this guy, thank God, God bless Vitaly, Ukrainian, who was traveling back from where he lives in Rotterdam to his house outside Odessa, where three families were living, but all the men were gone. They were all fighting. So he was going back, to check in on the women and the kids. I mean, come on. And then also to fight, if he needed to fight. Anyway, I met him on the train from Krakow to, I can't say the name. I'm not even going to try. Right by the border by Lviv. Anyway, Anyway, he's like, no, there is a train into Ukraine, but it was the train that the refugees had come off of. So it's not a train like you get on like the Amtrak. It's like transport. I mean, there were seats, but no bathrooms. It smelled like pee. I mean, come on, people are traveling. They gotta pee, right? And kind of garbagey. But we got on it. Of course, we didn't even have a ticket. But we got over the border, and then I was met. Oh, God, this was so beautiful. I wrote it more beautifully than I'm going to say it, but I was being met by someone I didn't know, the husband of someone I didn't know, at the train station, the main train station in Lviv, where there were thousands of people. It was refugees. They were trying to get out. Some were eating, and some were being taken care of, but they were waiting for trains, and I was told, meet my husband. Here's a picture of him. He's wearing a blue jacket. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. There's thousands of people. But Vitaly's like, maybe he's over here. It leads me to the guy. The guy is looking at my picture on his phone. Nancy doesn't speak English. Vitaly takes his hand. They shake like this. And basically, as I wrote, we're saying to each other, I've gotten her this far. I can give her to you now, right? She's safe? Yes, she's safe. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to start crying again. So I have never been in a wartime situation. I've never reported from a war zone, and it may very well be the case that, you're in a place where everybody needs to work together. You also have to understand, Ukraine was a place that until recently lived fairly collectively, right? So maybe that's the reason why they're just all able to be out in the streets and, building things and barricades and checking. But it's just been an amazing experience. I won't go into the whole experience with the family I was staying with, Oksana. I've written about her. Go over to Reason. I just posted my third piece there in 4 days, and you can meet her. You can meet her family. But it was a little tricky trying to get out. I mean, where I was in Lviv, I was not in any danger at all. I obviously appreciate people saying to me, oh, please be safe, be safe. I was so freaking safe. I was sleeping in a warm bed. I am a privileged person for the kind of reporting that I was doing. There is no doubt. But I met a lot of people. I was able to listen to them, hopefully tell their stories, their fears, their hopes, their anger, their love for their country. In any case, how am I going to get out? It's kind of tricky. You can't really get out of Ukraine, right? So, kind of like the ways in New York, other places. It's like, if you know somebody who knows somebody, you know somebody. So I got a ride to the border today with someone that works on the border. It was me, these two. Now, nobody knows each other. You have to understand, this person that's driving to the border doesn't know any of these people, but she's going to do it because that's what you do. So it's two Italian guys. They didn't speak one word of anything except Italian, maybe a little Ukrainian. A woman and her two young children, Yulia and her two little 3-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy, and me, drove to the border. I was planning on walking over the border, finding my way 14 kilometers to a bus station in this Przemyśl, that's the name of the town, and getting on a bus at 10 in the morning. Well, we get to the border, and Yulia says to me, why don't you come? She spoke some English. Why don't you come? There's a bus. It will take us over the border instead of you getting out and me walking 14 kilometers. So I'm like, okay. And so we just go in. The woman who drove us just goes up to the bus driver, Ukrainian, and we all get on the bus. Great. We get over, we get our passports checked on either side of the border, and then Yulia's like, oh, this bus is going to Warsaw. I didn't have to get off the bus. And I didn't pay for the bus. That's it's just, I was so lucky. It's just bananas. And, but of course, I'm reading about all the people that are so far beyond fucking unlucky and who are living under the most dreadful and terrifying conditions, and for nothing. For this crazy person and his idea that, this part of the world is still supposed to be part of the Soviet Union and fuck everybody else. I'll just fucking take it. Just start killing people. Fuck it. And his whole, everybody in Russia, 70% of them, which I keep being told, these people live with, they don't even have toilets in their house, right? They sell natural gas, but they don't have natural gas. And they have they listen to the television, which is Russian television, and they believe, they're like, oh my God, there's Nazis in Ukraine. We've got to go save our fellow citizens. Well, I spoke to a woman, if you go to reason.com, it might still be the lead story up there today, she's half Russian, half Ukrainian. She's living in Ukraine, she and her relatives, and she talks to me about the sort of trying to talk to her relatives and friends in Russia, do you understand? They don't believe her. So they're using all this kind of interesting subterfuge on social media. It's very interesting. It's very fucking heartbreaking. I got here to the hotel. I'm watching the news, and I am going to just stay on this story. I am going home tomorrow, going back to New York City, but I made some very, very good and very strong friends here. And it is an important, I think it's the story of our time. I hope, like all the people I talk to, they hope it's, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's going to be over. We're hoping in this. And we're hoping that, Putin's ministers realize that he's out of his mind and that they're going to actually sabotage him. But if you look at what's happening, if you look at and how they are encroaching, it's not good. And the Ukrainian people have, I know this sounds trite, I know so freaking much, right? I've been here a week. I can only tell you what I know, who I've talked to, what I've seen, what they keep telling me. They are literally have made a career now out of fighting the Russians. Everybody. They're just out there doing it. And we have to help them. We have to help them. Do we want them to? I've had people say to me, I'm going to live under their system of government and do I'd rather be dead. Well, so a lot of them are dying. A lot of Russians are dying too. Partly, people say, it's kind of propaganda. We want to be hopeful. We want to believe that Ukraine is doing so well. It's sort of like you want to believe the story that matches up with what you want. But it is, in fact, I saw a number today that was pretty reliable. There have been 9,000 Russians killed. That's a lot. And this war's only been going on. Hi, Calabash. Thank you for following the stories. Everybody, if you want to, they're up at reason.com. I've got a media site called palomamedia.com. You can go follow us there or become a Patreon member. Or I've got a Substack. I'm writing a million places. I'm just trying to write, trying to put stories out there, and maybe not exactly the stories you're always seeing. The stories we're seeing are absolutely crucial. We are seeing children being killed. We are seeing people being murdered in the street. I talked to a woman yesterday whose mother, her house was blown up, and a little boy walking his dog in front was killed. And we need to hear those stories. There are a lot of people telling those stories. I came someplace else. I'm telling maybe slightly quieter stories, but they're representative of who people are, and they're as important a person as anybody else. So I would be very honored if you want to read them. I'm going to stay on it. I'm going to keep doing it. And now I'm here in the bar having my drink. And who am I meeting? Oh, some of you may know Michael Moynihan, Fifth Column guy, my dear friend. Fifth Column guys record in the studio Matt Welch and I built in my apartment in Chinatown. And Michael's here with Vice doing a story. So we're all going to, I'm sure it's going to be exquisitely good behavior tonight. And thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Yael Bartour, who keeps telling me to do these live videos. But I haven't had the connectivity in a lot of places. Certainly, like when something crazy is going on, there just isn't the internet. So everybody, thank you for the kind words here. Waving, whatever these things mean. I guess they're all good. And cheers. What is it? No. Dobre means good. That you hear that in Ukraine. Dobre, dobre, dobre. Bunda, bunda, I think is cheers. I know that from the mayor who got me a little drunk on Jameson. Okay, guys, I love you all. Thanks for watching. And I have to figure out how to turn it off. So maybe I'll just be here with you all night.